Hi, Diane Davidson here from the Fine Homes Group at Keller Williams with my partner, Bill Whiteacker, on this cold day. Hey, Bill?
It's not so cold.
I suppose not. It feels it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're trying to think of something to talk about today, and you brought up.
Here's the question. What you need to know is there's a little inside baseball that goes on before every one of our podcasts, and that is we have conversations about topics that we think are going to be important. And it occurred to me that something we hadn't really talked about in a while was preparation of the property prior to listing it, prior to it coming on the market.
Active alliteration there.
Is it still important? Is it even necessary anymore?
Yes and yes.
Well, do tell.
Okay. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not important if a seller is not interested or not able to get every possible positive term and price out of the property. And I hesitate to say the highest price because sales are always a combination of price and terms. But in order for a seller to achieve the best results for themselves, the property ought to be prepared. And so, no, it's not mandatory. And so for some people, it's just not possible. But whenever possible, it absolutely advantages the seller. It absolutely puts them in a better position. For instance, if they had things, sort of around to repurpose or edit, it goes a long way. It goes a long way to make a good, positive impression on buyers, out on the outside and on the inside.
So people think when they hear, they don't hear property preparation, they hear staging. Which means things that are brought, in most cases people think all of my stuff's got to be removed and other things, fake furniture and other people's stuff is going to get brought in. And is that really the case, or how does it, we know that it isn't, but.
Okay, then, no, it's not.
I'm answering my own questions.
So we know, let's share it, shall we? No, it's not. So our property preparation specialists do a great job with making a home feel like a home, not like a sterile environment. And so, what that often involves is using and repurposing many of the items that people have. As a matter of fact, over the years, we have used stagers, the air quotes for those who can't see and can only hear what we're saying, but I don't prefer an end product that looks staged. I prefer an end product that looks like a home, as do most prospective buyers, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so that often involves using things that are already there, just kind of in a different place, in a different way. And honestly, sometimes when we work with people in preparing their property, they say, "Oh, I used to have it there," or that used to be out. I mean, people make the mistake of packing away things that they don't think, because they look at things that are staged, and when their things don't look, when their items, their possessions don't look like those things, they think it won't be appropriate. We have gone through more boxes and pulled out more things that people had packed away that were so much more appropriate than a stager going out and buying new, innocuous, impersonal things. So buying or renting. So it's always a combination. Our team does do what we call virtual staging, where we can digitally enhance some of the rooms, so it's not as arduous a process as it can be when you're doing every single room in the house. And here's the thing: if there are things that are going to be packed up and given away, or packed up and moved somewhere else, and so that packing up has to be done eventually. If they're not things that enhance the overall look, or the look that we're going for, then why not pack them up? And that packing actually translates into more money for the seller, right? If there are things that are not going to be in their next place, or they're things they know that are in their next place, but they're not necessarily the most attractive in their current setting, we just sort of start a process that's going to happen anyway, a little bit sooner. The opposite is true too. If people are moving to bigger space and will need certain things when they get there, let's say area rugs, and they know that there's certain things they're going to need, and by having them sooner in their current environment, it could increase the value of their current environment, then our property preparation people will work with them to shop and find those things to bring them into their current home so they're not renting other people's stuff. Does that make sense?
It does. And what I'm hearing in all of this is that oftentimes people make up in their heads how arduous this process is going to be. And because of that, they stall, they hold off, they think, I don't want to go through that, especially this spring, maybe next year, when this might be the best year to move. And all they really need is to understand what the strategy looks like. Because once they understand what the strategy looks like and the work effort, if any, they start to go, this isn't going to be as bad as I thought.
Yep.
And it's, let me keep going.
Okay.
The other part is don't go it alone. Don't start doing things that you think are, well, the real estate agents are just going to tell me to do this anyway, and they start going out and spending all kinds of money on things that they shouldn't have spent.
Correct.
Tens and tens of thousands of dollars that they won't get back.
Correct. Yep. So our process is pretty unique. Our property preparation specialists go out and do a free consultation. And here's the thing, many people, after they end up doing whatever it is that the property preparation specialist suggests, and they agree to, say things like, God, I don't know if I want to move now. So if you're thinking even in the next 5 years that you want to move, call us, have somebody come out, get it all done, and live the way you'll enjoy living, not just the way you're living to sell. If that makes sense. We've done that. I can't tell you how many times we've done that, and it's really, I think it's great. It's great when people do, because by the way, it's not always just furnishings and furniture. Sometimes it's a change of paint color, sometimes it's a change of flooring, and it's a more permanent thing. And you need only spend an hour at Lowe's to see how many people are running over there to pick things up for their home because they're going to sell. Why not pick them out a few years earlier and enjoy it before you sell? If you never sell, you get to enjoy it longer.
So I guess what I'm hearing is they call us early.
Yep.
In the process.
Yep. Yep. And the other thing I want to talk about is the preparation of the outside. That is the first impression. In a lot of the markets we serve, they're single-family homes or condominiums that, in the case of condominiums, the association is handling things, but not always the landscaping, not always your front door, so on and so on. For a single-family home, it's always up to you. And that is the first impression. And there's an article in the Wall Street Journal, it's a few years old now, but the first impression, on average, made a difference of 7% in the selling price. That's a huge number.
People start to make decisions about the house before they've even walked inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Driving by.
Yeah.
Yeah. When people are at the house on the market say, I saw 35 cars drive by. Well, you better be putting your best foot forward, because we want all of those people to want to come in.
Yeah, you want them to eventually not drive by, but
see the inside.
yeah.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Okay, so call us, reach out to us if you want any help with property preparation, not staging, and we have wonderful professionals that we work with. So never too early to get your home in tip-top shape. You can enjoy it longer that way. Thanks for listening or watching. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast platform or subscribe to our YouTube channel.